Hey, fellow Brick fans, DJ Bricks here, back for another review. And today I have a 2019 Lego Harry Potter summer set. Before we get into it, I want to recommend that you subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to see more content and reviews like this. But getting into the set, it is Expecto Patronum. It is set number 75945. The recommended ages is 7+. It has 121 pieces. It retails for $19.99 USD and has a 16-cent price per piece. And has 4 minifigures, a nice build, a new mold for the stag. So let's get into the set and see how it stacks up, starting with the minifigures. So taking a look at the Harry Potter fig for this set, it is him in his casual Prisoner of Azkaban outfit. It is not exclusive to this set. It does come in the 2 slightly bigger, more expensive sets in the wave, so this is an easier way to get it. He has the mid legs in dark tan, which is the cheapest way to get that new part in that color. He comes with a nice dark blue torso printed with his blue undershirt, and there's some nice back printing. He comes with the Harry Potter wand piece in dark brown to represent his very specific wand. And then he does have a new facial expression for the 2019 season, representing a teenage Dan Radcliffe. So we got a kind of happy face on that side, and then a more angry face on the other. And then of course for his hair, he uses the hairpiece introduced last year, which is fine because he did have the same hairstyle for like the first 3 or so movies. And one complaint I do have about this figure is I wish this set had like a kind of dirty and beaten up and bloodied up version of him, because that would have been more accurate to how Harry appears in this particular sequence in the film. But that does it for this figure, so let's move on to the next figure is Sirius Black in his prisoner jumpsuit. This is the first time we are getting this character at all since the original sets in 2004, so it's been relatively 15 years since we've gotten a Sirius Black figure, and Lego did not disappoint. He's got some nice torso printing, which carries down to the legs, which is all really nicely detailed. However, on the torso, the chest is kind of pale because it's a light flesh color printed onto a dark plastic, so it's not opaque enough and it kind of looks bad. His face is really nicely done, as well as the hair choice. If you don't recognize the hair piece, it is Old Man Luke from Last Jedi. His hair piece, it's just remolded into a reddish brown color, which I think the hairpiece is a nice choice because it does capture the long shagginess of his hair in Prisoner of Azkaban. You can see some of the back torso print there, and removing it, we can see he has an angry facial expression, and you can see the rest of that torso print that was not obscured. But that does it for Sirius, and then let's move on to the Dementors. And the last couple of figures is a Dementor, and we do get 2 of them in this set. They are not new because this figure was introduced last year in the Hogwarts Express set. It's just carried over here. But if you haven't seen it, they do utilize the Ninjago ghostly effect leg piece to make it look like they're floating. And then they got a nice torso and head print. You can see that with me removing one of the hoods. Get a clearer look at that. They do not have back torso or back head printing, but they do have a nice tattered cape cloth, and it is definitely nice to have Lego have given us 2 of these, considering they could have only decided to throw on 1, but it is nice that they did give us 2. And that does it for the minifigures. So let's move on to the set proper. Okay, before we move on to the build proper, we do get this brand new mold representing Harry's Stag Patronus. Is a nice translucent blue piece, but it has glitter all mixed into it to make it look ethereal. It does have a 1x2 brick and a 1x2 plate in there. The 1x2 brick does have glitter mixed into the piece, while the 1x2 plate does not. I kind of wish it did to have that consistency, but that's beside the point. It does have nice shaping. The antlers up top here, they do not have any glitter in them because they are actually rubber to make it less brittle and less prone to breaking off, and so kids don't poke their eyes out. But that does it for the Patronus. So let's move on to. So the build is split up between 2 different sections. You have this lakeside part, and then you have this tree off by itself. So we're going to take a look at the lakeside part first. You do have some nice color in here. You have blue representing water, some tan representing some rocks and sand, and some foliage here represented by some leaves, olive green leaf please, and some brown flower stem pieces that were introduced last year in a dark brown color to represent some dead plants grown by the lakeside. And these, on the other side here, you do have trees, and both of these trees in the set are very interestingly built. They're built on their side like this, but they are held in place by a new piece for 2019 that we've seen in a bunch of sets so far, where it helps clamp them down into here. And it's built up, and it uses some Technic pieces to kind of branch out like that, which is nice. They could have just made simple trees, but I like the shaping and the look of these trees. It helps them stand out. We do have a pile of rocks here, and that is for you to put Sirius here and lay them down without breaking the set. To lay them down like that when the Dementors come to attack, and Harry can summon his Patronus to ward them off and protect Sirius. And that's where the second tree comes in. It's pretty much built identically to the first one, except for in one area where it has this stud shooter with this glittery radar dish built into it, and it's just, you can angle it and aim it. Oh, you can aim it at a Dementor and pretend that Harry is trying to ward off the Dementors with the Patronus charm. But that one downside to the set is this section here kind of isn't really well attached, so it can break off and play. But that does it for this set, and let's move on to the instruction box's extra pieces and see how this set fares. Right, so looking at the box is the standard $20 size for a Lego box, and it has Lego Harry Potter across the top along with Harry, Ron, and Hermione and posted right there, consistent with the design from the first wave of sets. We have a nice graphic of the set, all the specs of the set right there. The minifigure checklist down there, and we have the minifigure size with Sirius Black representing the actual size of the set. And of course on the back of the box we have some nice product play shots along with some action features. And that does it for the box of the set. Let's move on to the final verdict. So looking at the instruction manual, it's a standard one booklet, $20 size. It has 43 pages of building. You have an advertisement for the Lego Life app, as well as a cross-sell for some of the 2019 summer Harry Potter sets, as well as the parts inventory. And on the back, as always, you have the product feedback win promotion. And that does it for the instruction manual. Let's move on to the extra pieces. We get some pretty standard extra pieces for a $20 set. We do get a couple of cheese slips in a few different colors. We do get a couple extra studs in a couple of different colors, because Technica is involved in the set. We do get an extra gray bushing. We do get an extra 3 long brown rod. We do a nice inclusion is an extra one of the brown flower stem pieces, because an extra shooter is included. We do get an extra firing pin, and then as always with these Harry Potter sets, we do get an extra wand, because 2 of them are always included on the sprue. But I will make mention of the fact that for the 2019 season, Lego seems to have changed the sprue design from the 2018 season, because the 2018 season used these had these rounded bits around the end of the wand holder, which made getting the wands off the sprue really difficult. And here it's really easy. So I do appreciate them making that design choice to make building easier for both kids and adults. So good on Lego for that. And let's move on to the next. Alright, so moving on to the final verdict. As always, we are going to talk about the set's individual qualities before ranking it as a final score. So first, we are going to talk about the build of the set. It was a relatively quick, easy build. As I stated in the review, the trees do have a very unorthodox, very interesting build to how it is constructed versus how the designers have built the trees in the past. The connection point, however, between the lakeside and the first tree here isn't very well connected and can easily break off. There are no glitter parts in the parts of the stag. So all in all, I'm going to have to give the build of the set a for the figures of the set, great inclusions, all necessary to recreate this scene for kids to play it out, and no really complaints about the figure inclusion. However, I do have to say that I wish Harry was kind of dirtied and scuffed up a bit to better represent his appearance in the scene rather than just be a clean figure, because that's how he was for the majority of the end of Prisoner of Azkaban. Quality wise, I have there was nothing wrong with the instructions put in the box or the box itself. All the pieces were nicely colored and molded. The only real complaint I have, as I mentioned during the minifigure review portion of the review. And finally, we are going to talk about the price of the set. It is 16 cents per piece, as mentioned at the beginning of the video. As for it being a $20 set and having a 16-cent per piece, it's a little kind of hard pill to swallow, but I believe the new mold for the stag may be contributing to some of that price inflation versus pieces included in the set, as like to kind of compensate for that new mold. So if you are an avid Harry Potter fan, I would highly recommend this at full price. But if you want to buy it on sale, I wouldn't begrudge you. So I have to give the price of the set a 0.5 out of 1. All in all, this set scores a 7 out of 10 with me. If you want to leave a comment about your own opinions on this set, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. Please feel free to give my video a like if you like this review, and subscribe and hit that bell so you know when I post more videos. And I will keep on building more sets, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.